him. He has promised he's going to drop these messages. They better be signal messages, which are supposed to be deleted, but also it's going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be great.
Candace Owens and Dave Smith had a phenomenal conversation. If you guys haven't seen the whole thing, I would definitely recommend going and watching this entire conversation. All right. Have a lot of respect for both of these individuals, obviously. But if you all remember, when we were talking about the debate, we were talking about what Andrew Wilson did in his opening statement, reading this text message that he got from Turning Point USA, got from Erika Kirk, right? That's the only place that he could have gotten this text message from. In fact, he admits that he got the text message from Turning Point USA because he reached out in good faith. Andrew Wilson is the good faith actor that is capable of getting any information that he wants from Turning Point USA. All it takes is just asking nicely, you guys. Just say please. Just say please. As we covered yesterday, in good faith, according to Turning Point USA, just simply means destruction of Candace Owens. When you reach out in good faith, AKA when you reach out in the name of destroying Candace Owens, they give you what you want. I've reached out. Andrew Colvett, I've reached out to you. I am looking to obliterate Candace Owens, so can you please just give me the unedited footage of Charlie appointing Erika? Or the 4K footage of the camera right in front of Charlie Kirk? I mean, to obliterate Candace. I just want to obliterate Candace. Please give me this information. Thank you. Andrew shared this text message, obviously to try and trap Candace right off the bat in this debate. He exposed Erika Kirk by doing so. Okay, I don't know if they thought we weren't going to remember. I don't know what they think. Like, I mean, they make mistake after mistake, blunder after blunder. So we come out and we say, well, Andrew, how do you have this text message of Charlie being worried that he was going to be killed at UVU, telling his security team, like, hey, you need to protect me? Charlie's concerned that he was going to be killed. And this text message says that it was the left. Charlie was afraid that the left was going to kill him. Well, Erika was on Glenn Beck saying that those text messages did not exist. Okay, and then she told Candace Owens that, oh, they weren't iMessages, they were Signal messages. And that's the reason that I didn't see them, because apparently she told Candace that the Signal messages had been deleted. There was no way for her to have seen those. Well, she's got herself in a pickle now. She's got herself trapped. She bought herself a pickle, and now she's gotten herself into a pickle. You guys see what I did there? Pickles Wilson. Listen to this segment of Dave Smith and Candace Owens now talking about these messages and talking about how Erika Kirk is now caught, trapped in a lie one way or another. Take a listen.
I want to overstate this because people can lie for all types of reasons. And it doesn't necessarily prove what those reasons are. But there is something about how, like, in the immediate wake of the biggest political assassination of my lifetime, and with an open murder investigation, how many people just lied through their teeth? It's just like lie. You're like, yo, I'm sorry, but like on some level, you make yourself like a person of interest. I'm not saying a suspect, but like you make yourself something when you just come out and start lying during an open murder investigation.
It's
like,
weird.
What are you doing?
It's just weird.
And I got to say, one of these moments, which I just kind of couldn't believe this as it was happening. I couldn't believe Andrew was reading his opening statement to begin with, but I actually couldn't believe that he came out with that text message.
Crazy.
And there was something, and you, of course, pounced on this immediately, but it's like, whoa. So now Turning Point is giving you like, this has been relevant information for a freaking year. While they, and look, there's a few layers to this, because number one, I understand Andrew wants to say, And I understand, I will be, if I'm being honest here. Okay, it's a bit of a gray area where he's like, I'm not an agent of Turning Point USA. I'm just me. But also you did once work for them, you're saying. And also now they are feeding you information. And he can chalk that up to like, oh, well, if you ask in a non-hostile way, like you're being accusatory, so they don't want to tell you. But guys, again, this is the real problem you have here is a few fold. Number one, you're not the only person who's been asking about this case.
Correct. You don't have to give it to me. That's the whole point.
Everybody wants to know about this. Literally everybody. You're talking about one of the most beloved, adored figures in this world who was murdered in his youth. Like everyone wants to know the answers to this. There's a long list of us, and then like, if they had this, what you're holding this to get a win over Candace rather than giving us this information.
Put it up on the
very good point made by Dave Smith right there. Instead of releasing it right away, instead of putting it out there and saying, look, Charlie was afraid that the left was going to kill him. That's all they needed to do. They could have just put it out in the public. Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff could have done it on the Charlie Kirk show. Look at the messages right here. This is what Charlie was afraid of. Instead of doing that, they give the message to Andrew Wilson so that he can go on a debate with Candace to try to make her look stupid. Like that's their strategy. That is their strategy. And then, yes, as Dave Smith just said, Andrew tried to position himself as separate from Turning Point USA, as doing this on his own, as being some martyr for the Republican Party to unite the right, to debunk all of the people that are ruining the MAGA coalition, right? And he exposed himself as being an actor or working on behalf of Turning Point USA against Candace Owens in this debate.
Charlie Kirk show. Put it up on the Charlie Kirk show.
I mean, come on.
You could do it right here. Why are you giving this to Andrew Wilson?
And this would seem, and also it makes it seem very shady because this would seem like major, very important evidence. If you're making the claim that no, he was scared for his life, but it wasn't the Israel lobby, he was more worried about the left. Okay, I can fathom that. But like, let me see, then why are you holding it this long? But then, of course, the other major one, Candace, I got to ask what this is like from your perspective, is that the one major time that Erika intervened during the course of you going down these rabbit holes, the one time she intervened to tell you to stop, the one thing she said that you were lying about, this proves was the truth. And like, I remember last time I saw you.
Oof, as they say, oof.
Which in person, when me and Theo came over to your house earlier this year, I came over to your house and talked about Charlie Kirk. And now in hindsight, I got to do that for free. Didn't even cost me $300,000, which is pretty cool. I didn't realize what a value I was getting at the time. But even then I remember it was right after you had just met with her. And so she had publicly said, oh, that's not true. But you even said when she met with you, she was like, oh yeah, we did find it on the phone. It was that. But it's just kind of crazy that it's like, look, you guys came out and intervened to say this was a lie. Mm-hmm. Then it got proven that you were wrong about that, right? Like, best case scenario wrong, worst case scenario lying.
Yeah. And I'm going to go with lying. Okay. I'm going to go with lying and I'm going to tell you why. Again.
Okay. So Candace is about to tell us why this was a lie. So what Dave Smith is saying is like, look, you went on Glenn Beck, Erika Kirk, and you said that these text messages did not exist. Okay. And you were either wrong or you were lying about it. I see you guys asking in the chat, when was this from? This is from the Candace Owens and Dave Smith interview yesterday. This dropped yesterday. I think Candace did this right before her live show. Or at least it ended right before Candace's live show. I don't know if they filmed this live. But in any case, this is from yesterday. Candace rules out that Erika was just wrong about this and that she is actually lying about this. Because I've seen the counter. Because after Erika Kirk and Candace Owens met in December, Candace came out on her show and clarified why Erika did not see the messages. And I had been asking you guys, hey, can you find me the clip of Candace saying eventually that the messages between Charlie Kirk and Dan Flood were iMessages? We haven't been able to find that clip. But if those messages were iMessages, then that proves, in fact, that Erika Kirk lied. She lied about this. But Candace identifies what also Erika told her here, which proves that Erika lied either way. And here she's about to reveal what that is.
And here's my positive evidence, whatever he keeps saying. But I was the person who presented this to the public, and they lied both ways. I was the one who said Charlie had this breakup with Israel, the night before on a text message. They lied, gaslit until I dropped the text message. Turning Point USA could have just come out and said that was true, right? Then I say, and that's not it. There were two people that he texted the night before saying that he was fearful that he was going to get killed. And he did not say the left. He did not say the left. If he had said the left, they would have released those messages in the first 24 hours because their entire narrative would have been proven by these messages that Charlie was fearful of the left the night before. Instead, they allowed me to look like I was lying. And then, mind you, I'm saying this in September. It is in December when Erika comes and she sits down with Glenn Beck and she puts on the I have his phone and none of that's true and da-da-da-da-da. And that was the first time that I engaged her. And I came on my platform and I said, she's lying. She's lying. These messages do exist. And after that, she quietly behind the scenes, because she doesn't like to ever be on record saying anything, said to me, okay, well, actually, the first thing she says is, have you seen the messages? And I say, I'm playing so chill. I say, no. And she says, well, they exist, but he said the left. And the reason why I didn't have them was because it was on their signal chat, which gets wiped. Okay. So let me tell you what's wrong with that. This is why she's walking herself into a trap. First off, I then told my audience she's lying. It was actually on iMessage. Dan Flood sent a message on iMessage to Charlie. That'll get clocked later, right? But let's assume that what she said to me in person is true, that it was on Signal, it was on their security chat, which wipes automatically. How the hell does Andrew Wilson have them months later then?
Oof. Oh. Done. Finished. Candace's face. Either their iMessage, which Candace says that their iMessage, she'll get clocked on that later. Dan Flood and Charlie Kirk exchanged iMessages about his fear that he was going to be killed. Charlie's. Okay? And even if they were not, so even if we want to say they are not, so this is Candace granting. So again, if they're iMessages, that proves that Erika lied through her teeth on Glenn Beck. Say Candace grants, which is what she's doing right now. Grant that they're actually Signal messages, but Erika told Candace that the Signal messages get wiped. They do not stay there. How then was she able to share that message thread with Andrew Wilson? That's a pickle, as they say. That is quite the pickle for Erika Kirk to be in.
What's going on? How did these messages suddenly? She told me that she then asked, as if she had never, for some reason, Dan Flood and Andrew Colbert didn't offer this information to her for 4 months as her husband's murders being investigated. I think that would be the next day you would say, hey, this is crazy because the night before he texted me this and he was right. You would say that. Dan Flood was literally providing security to Erika in the aftermath. He's the one who took her to the White House. So we're supposed to believe he never mentioned this to her. She went on to Glenn Beck. Andrew Colbert never mentioned it to her. He's the one that told me about all of these messages. And then I went and did what I had to do to get to secure the information about them. And we're supposed to believe no one told her, but Candace knew in September. And then she wants to think that the Signal chat got deleted, but somehow Andrew Wilson has it in his hand and it's going to save a left. I am waiting for him. He has promised he's going to drop these messages. They better be Signal messages, which are supposed to be deleted, but also it's going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be great. Well, because they keep getting caught in these lies. And this is why they hate me, because I'm clocking them on these lies left and right. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Okay. I don't know why they're lying, but they have not presented themselves as honest people in the wake of the assassination, which makes people think that they are suspicious. Okay.
And that's 100% right. People are asking more questions because of lies being told, because of dishonesty. All right. Because of also shift in direction of Turning Point USA, which we're about to get to in a second, because they have a really good clip talking about that as well. Explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Andrew Colbert was telling Candace Owens about all of these messages that existed. Charlie Kirk being afraid, like Andrew going rogue, sharing all of these messages with Candace Owens. He didn't tell Erika about any of them.